details, but it's very clear what kind of spending cuts need to occur. And but we have no idea what the White House is willing to do.
To this point, most public statements have been optimistic, confident, hopeful. We're all sensing a very different tone from you right now. Are you walking away from talks? Have things completely broken down?
No. Stop. I got to tell you, I'm disappointed in where we are. I'm disappointed in what's happened over the last couple of weeks. But going over the fiscal cliff is serious business. And I'm here seriously trying to resolve it. And I would hope the White House would get serious as well.
Is this assessment of yours based on the meeting with Secretary Geithner or your phone call with President Obama last night? And can you tell us something about that phone call?
Well, we had a very nice conversation last night. It was direct and straightforward. But this assessment I give you today would be a product of this conversation.
How much would you be open to the idea of discretionary spending cuts as part of a down payment to get to a longer range solution on entitlements and tax reform?
There are a lot of options that are on the table, including that one.
Mr. Speaker, before the election, you were asked whether if Obama won, taxes would have to go up. And you made it sound like you would oppose that. Now,
hey, puppies. Hi there.
The day after the election,
yes.
I came here and made it clear that Republicans would put revenue on the table as a way to begin to move the process to get this result.
Right. So my question is, what's the message you have for people who look at the negotiating position and see that it's, or believe that it's inevitable that you'll have
Saki.
to some compromise?
Saki dog. Yes, you.
On the table, but revenue was only on the table if there were serious spending cuts as part of this agreement. It has to be part of the agreement. We have a debt crisis. We're spending too much. And while we're willing to put revenue on the table, we have to recognize it's the spending that's out of control.
Mr. Speaker, roughly what size spending cuts do you think it would take to reach a deal on the fiscal cliff? And do you think that at least the promise of spending cuts has to be included in this level of deal at this time?
Well, I don't think it's a prerequisite for either side to lay out hard lines in terms of what the size of the spending cuts ought to be. There's clearly there are a lot of options on how you can get there. But the second part of your question was?
My question is, do you think the promise of spending cuts has to be included in the deal that averts the fiscal cliff?
There's a framework that we presented to the White House 2 weeks ago. The framework has been agreed to in terms of